Guate Sunday, which means rejoice. We have our rose candle lit. Rose is a liturgical color for joy. And today we continue to hear the story of how Jesus' life of ministry begins. These stories are all filled with hints of what his life will mean for us. Faith and generosity overcomes impossibility. Poverty and persecution reveals his glory. With joy, we hear John the Baptist this morning, who sends his disciples to Jesus with this question for him. And I suggest today that maybe this question was not for John the Baptist, but for his disciples and for us, who his disciples were probably reluctant to believe in Jesus and reluctant to leave him in prison. And this is one question that maybe we can ponder in our heart during this week. Jesus tells John's disciples and us, the blind will see, the lame walk, leopards will be cleansed, and the deaf will hear, and dead raised. Well, you and I are the blind that cannot see because of our ignorance and selfishness. We are the deaf by our pride and arrogance. And we are the lame who fail to walk in his footsteps. And we are the lepers, unable to pray as we should because of our sins. But in this week of joy, know that God is constantly trying to open our hearts to help us hear and to strengthen us by feeding us with this bread from heaven, nourishing us in this very self of the Eucharist. He is also always encouraging us to grow with him by cleansing us through the reconciliation. And how might we go through this? As we heard in James this morning about the farmer being patient for the rain to make his harvest. Don't take this, as patience of sitting around and waiting. Because we also hear, say, mark your heart firm. So like the farmer, while waiting for summer to produce its precious fruit, we need to prepare. The farmers till the ground. They determine the right seed. They apply fertilizer. They prepare their equipment. And for us around here, that's going on currently, and that's for next year's crop. So you and I, like the farmer in this Advent season, need to prepare ourselves to realign ourselves with God so that we can yield abundant fruit. Allow our eyes and ears to be open to the Lord, to open our hearts to him and allow him to cleanse our soul. In this Advent season, let's make sure that we take time not to be blinded what's going around us, not to be blinded to what he is calling us to be. That we take time to silently sit with him and hear the Lord's voice. And humbly to allow Jesus to cleanse us so that we can walk in his footsteps.